using the potential of what you can use with your own body and human power. I often think the most neglected form of renewable energy on the planet is human energy. People often go on about wind farms and wave farms, but I think we need to get back into using our bodies in the simple load technology and appropriate technology, and a lot of the stuff we have here is hand-operated tools.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of satisfaction out of you know, I could sit here all day on this shave horse just cleaning things up, and we've made lots of benches and seats and chairs and things with it. And everything sort of becomes part of. There's no such thing as waste, so that's when it's dried out will be useful for starting fires or animal bedding and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what all these sacks of stuff are. I can't bear the thought of, if anything goes off site, I kind of feel we've slightly failed, because really everything that's, in our case, that one would call waste, everything is relabelled a resource. It's just a question of finding out how you can utilise it. So everything sort of keeps circulating around the system. It's a bit like copying and echoing how nature operates, really. So a lot of this place is to do with, as you can see, all the various types of wood being stored and put together. This is a stick chair that I'm making at the moment, which is made from green wood. It's much easier to work with when it's fresh. This has only been cut about 10 days or so ago.
So green wood is freshly cut, not treated.
Yeah, and it's you can work it much faster, drill it and make holes and do your joints. There's a gate here I'm making for my mother-in-law's house in Cheltenham to keep the rabbits out of the garden. And it's just very satisfying being able to make something very simple with this sort of technology to sort of problem out.
So do you use any power tools at all then?
Good question. We try and avoid them completely. Every now and then we do. If we're overtaken by the scale of a task, we will get someone to come with a chainsaw, but there's an awful lot of work we do with these rather beautiful cross-cut saws. And once you've got used to the pace, it's just extraordinarily satisfying using a tool like this. And it sort of ties in with, I think, a general philosophical approach that I have, is sort of finding what is a natural pace. Sort of the planet operates at a natural biotic pace, I call it, and humankind, I think, has got to slow down and get into the rhythm of how the planet operates and how it works, and connect with the sensible way that nature operates. Humankind is incredibly, if there is such a word, unsensible in the way it rushes at using up the resources of the planet. And so very much one of the approaches that we have here is trying to connect up with like I say, the naturalness of the way things grow and not push at the limits. So we follow and echo and watch and respond and work in with nature rather than exploiting and attacking and fighting nature. So the 15-acre smallholding that we have is developing in ways which are sort of trying to provide more space for other creatures and habitats for animals and so on, rather than clearing space to put in more sheep and more dairy and more animals. So we have animals within the system that we love taking more and more green space away and handing it back to small woodland plantings. And is utilising what's on site. This is an example of leaf mould that is fantastic for conditioning the soil, adding life and texture to it. And all you do is gather the leaves that fall off the trees in the autumn, put them in these compounds, and after 2 years you get this beautiful stuff which goes into the garden beds.
Right.
So that people shouldn't buy peat to put on gardens when they've got the leaves that fall off trees.
Yeah.
And peat should be left where it is to suck up all the excess CO2 that needs to be absorbed in the atmosphere. This gadget machine, I suppose you could call it a machine, was made about 1910, 10-ish, originally for cutting up hay and straw into short lengths, which would then be fed with concentrate to horses, which were then the tractors on the farms, just to sort of spread the concentrate out. So, but we use it for chopping up any sort of organic debris. These are old artichoke stems, which most people would burn, but they're something that, with care, you can recycle into the system. So I'll just start feeding it through. And it just cuts it into short lengths. This again is a human-powered bit of machinery maintaining the philosophy of the place, and it's a fantastic machine because I think it'll never break down. It'll just go on forever. All you have to do is put a little bit of oil on the bearings every now and then.
Yeah.
And this material here now is a good bit of roughage to go in with the underneath where the hens they muck, and then we put the wood ash and the chicken muck, and this goes straight onto the compost, and within 6 months you've got brilliant compost for the garden. So it's very satisfying. It's good for one's ticker operating this machine. We pollarded an ash tree which was near to a wall, and it was swinging in the breeze, knocking the wall down, so we've just cut the top off at about 6 foot high, and these branches here have been put out, and the goats have eaten all the bark off them.
Oh yeah, I can see
and
that.
it's brilliant because it gives them a lot of nourishment. The goats' natural rough fodder would be the bark of trees, so we're forever throwing hedge tops and wooded material to them, which is good because it provides us with firewood, gives them nourishment, and they get trace elements and minerals and all sorts of things out of the bark, and they're good healthy goats as well.
The teeth leave a wonderful texture, don't
Yes, we've made several bits of furniture with this material. It just sort of does show you what can be done. My son made this bench for me. I commissioned him to do it. I think it's really beautiful, and you can see that he's just used the natural shape of the branches to build in the design of his seat. I mean, it's fairly wacky in its own way, but I think the wackiness all works out, so the end product is sort of collectively pleasing, and it's a very comfortable seat to sit on. We had an open garden day last year, and William made a seat very similar to this for some people who wanted one for their father. So I like it because it sort of tells the story of this place. I think it's sort of trying to say there's so much potential in working with and alongside nature. So this is a sort of a byproduct of the system. It's an example of what you can do. It surprised us, really, how it sort of organically came almost on its own as a result of our involvement with the way of life.